You want to be a Counter-Strike 2 pro. Well, let's make it so you start playing like a Counter-Strike 2 pro. Today, I'm going to share with you a concept that is a must-know if you are a rifler specifically. It's going to help you in your matchmaking games, your faceit games, your team environment games. You will need to know this if you ever want a future in this game. And from the opponent's perspective, if you start doing what I'm going to show you, it will be so frustrating to play you and they are going to rage at you. Before we get into the video, guys, it'd mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment. You know what to do, so let's get right into it. So one thing that we can do inside of Counter-Strike that pros do, if you've ever watched any of their matches, is jiggling, but not to shoot them, right? Jiggling not to kill them, but to get information. Why is this so important? Because let's think about it from the T side perspective real quick. Let's think about it from somebody that's coming through halls here and wants to see how much space they can get to go out halls and win the round, right? They're trying to get info, they're trying to see what they do. Think about it. In a perfect world, you know, they're jiggling these angles out, they're trying to get this information. They're not making any noise, guys, right? So from our POV, we don't know they're in halls yet. We don't know for sure. They're walking up here, seeing how far they can get, how much space you're giving them, and they're trying to piece the information together. So you're walking through here. If you get all the way out here and you're able to get this space, it's going to be so easy for you and your teammates to pop out of halls, to do this without them even knowing, right? So what happens when we sit here and start jiggling? We get this information, right? We see, okay, one in halls, we can fall back, and now we can piece together, okay, one's halls, one's here. And you can take this next level. You can be jiggling, and maybe your teammate's Moto sitting here doing this. You're like, bro, one halls, careful, can you flash for me? And he goes and throws a flash, a banger through here that explodes, and you can peek off of it, right? That's a team play. That's not what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to show you individual stuff because I know a lot of you guys don't have friends or players to do this with. So what you can do instead is, one, yeah, you can just jiggle for info and not go for the kill, and then maybe go for a timing push or a peek later. But, you know, just jiggling to be annoying and, you know, do your thing and get that info. And then fall, right? Falling is always good, you know, play with your teammates instead of taking a straight up 50-50 duel. But what is actually the most important mechanic that you can do and will be so frustrating is you actually jiggle with utility, right? So we're just jiggling here with a molly out, right? We're just doing this. We're getting the timing down. We're looking like this. You can look down. And then when we spot them, we throw a molly down. And then we go into our backup plan, right? We go into the position that we want to play. Maybe that's balcony. Maybe you want to stay up here, but maybe your backup is to get down here and to fall into pit then, or fall into mini pit, depending on the situation, right? So jiggling with utility like this, it can be so annoying to play against, right? You can do that when you're on site here, right? So if you're the lane player and you know the last three guys are middle, right? They're in brackets. Time's running out. You know, time is getting low. Sit here with a molly and sit here and jiggle and then throw it on the ground and fall back to sight once you already spot them and you see them running up lane, right? From their perspective, you know, they're panicked, right? They're trying to run in, and that molly is going to either prevent them from getting in or it's going to cut them off. So doing this with a molly is probably the best you can do, because, you know, the alternative is you're just throwing the molly on a timing, right? So you're just throwing a molly, which is fine. That's good. Like that's still a place. But at the end of the day, you're throwing it earlier than you need to, right? The advantage of jiggling with utility out like this is, one, it makes it extremely hard for you to kill. And two, you can throw it when they're actually coming up, right? When you see them pushing you, that's when you can drop it on the ground and you know, you're optimizing the timings, right? You're making it so much harder, right? That's why you see a lot of professional players doing this. One of the most common places to do that is then over here on B site, right? Because B site having utility is so important, right? So sometimes you have a teammate jiggling here, CT, right? He's jiggling with his knife out or something, or you have a teammate spotting here. He's just spotting like this. And then you have a teammate up here on first, just with the utility out. He's literally just having utility out. If your teammate gets flashed off, if he spots somebody running in, he's like, bro, they're execing. You drop the molly then, and then you're good. You know what I mean? So having this info where you have somebody jiggling like this is so vital. And guys, you don't just have to do this with mollies. You don't. This is a concept you can do with other pieces of utility too. A really common one is to sit here on CT and jiggle like this. And then when you spot them, you drop a smoke down, right? Like mid round, early round, you drop a smoke that cuts off their ability to run in sight freely, right? So don't just think that this is just purely for incendiaries, mollies, whatever. You can do this with every piece of utility, and it's so good. And it's also like you don't have to just do it like how I'm showing you, where you just throw it on the ground. This can be something you do where you're doing a jump spot or something. You're doing a jump spot, you have a flash ready, and then you just you know, flash and peek. That was awful. But you know what I mean? Like you're doing this jump spot. All right, they're in. I flash off the wall. I'm gonna peek off of it. Boom. Right? It could be even something like that. It doesn't just have to be molly, smoke. You know, you can think outside the box. A lot of people do it with HEs too. They get that info. All right, I'm jiggling, you know, jiggling. Oh, dude, they're running in. They're running in. I throw an HE and fall back into my plan, right? So this mechanic, as simple as it is, you guys are not doing it. And when I'm playing pugs, when I'm playing matchmaking, I rarely see anybody doing this. And it is so annoying to play against. And I get it, guys. It's like, oh, we're Counter-Strike players. I want to shoot them. You know, I want to sit here with my gun out and shoot them, right? But playing like this with a rifle is not your best idea, man. That is not the best idea. Doing these jiggle peaks gives your team so much information and is low risk, right? It's a very low risk. You can get an idea of what the other team is doing. The cost of pretty much nothing. They might tag you, they might hit you, right? But even for me opping, one of the big common things in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, when I'm opping and I want to contact it into B, if they are really good at jiggling, there's been times where I just take this fight with my team. You know, I have teammates behind me trying to trade me out. It's so hard to hit that shot. I'm telling you, if someone knows how to jiggle properly, it is so hard to hit the shot, guys. Like, I know you're thinking like, oh, I'm just going to die. You're not going to die. Especially in matchmaking and faceit, you're not going to die. Trust me. I've tried to hit that shot, and in one, you have to get the timing exactly right to kill them. And two, you have to hit this crazy shot, right? So, you know, don't be scared of jiggling because you think you're going to die. You might get tagged by a rifler or something. You might get hit, but it's worth it. For the information, it's totally worth it. Guys, there's 30 seconds left. I'm holding arch side. I'm holding arch side. Boom, they're up arch. I drop a molly. You know, probably do this rifling. You know, opping. I drop the molly, and then I'm being so annoying, right? The molly's about to fade. I throw a flash in. No, I'm just being a menace to them. And instead of somebody who's just sitting here, post on the angle. Oh, I'm dead arch. You know, I took my 50-50 fight, and they destroyed me because Counter-Strike 2 is broken, and people can just wide swing into you and kill you, right? Let's stop making excuses, and let's start actually implementing professional mechanics and gameplay into this, right? And like I said, you can do this as a team play too. You can have one person spotting and the other person hold util, but in general for pugs and stuff like that, it's just going to be more you're going to be better off just doing solo plays, to be honest, because you can't really rely on people to do this for you. And it's very common, like as a pit player, to do this. You see it a lot, you know, you see it a lot here. The pit players like jiggling like this, because what's he doing? He wants to be the hardest player on the map to kill, right? So when he gets spotted by the T's running up lane, he drops this smoke down, right? Like he drops his smoke to be hard to kill, and then he plays around it, right? He plays around the smoke and is very hard to kill, because what the T's like to do a lot is when they're running up lane, they like to molly pit. And if you have that smoke down, they can't molly it, right? And also with that smoke down, you can throw a flash behind you and, you know, fight here or get to mini and have this crossfire at the guys on site. So there's lots of layers we could dive into this, but at the end of the day, jiggling is going to be your key to succeeding. It doesn't even involve shooting. It doesn't involve anything other than getting information. A silver 1 could do this, but you know, at the end of the day, there's a reason you're silver 1, and professional players are much better than you, and they're still choosing not to shoot people because this is just the way you should be playing. It's so hard to deal with. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. You all have a great rest of your day. Appreciate every single one of you. Peace out.